Whew. Oh yeah, needed that in the recording, didn't I? Hello everybody, this is Joshua, your fatherly muffin, and we found ourselves once again on Reddit like we do just about every day of our lives, or at least if you live my life, that's how it ends up. And sometimes, poor Mr. Dwyer, he was just too afraid to know when to ask. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you really should know something, but you don't, and it's kind of embarrassing. I just want to let you know, it's not embarrassing to ask dumb questions. I ask dumb questions every day. Like, if the moon is made of cheese, why are we starving? See? And somebody's probably going to tell me why we don't do it. Dumb. Psh, how many Apollo missions do we have? Come on. But anyway, here we go. We are in one of the best places you can ask a dumb question and get a real answer is Too Afraid to Ask. Are you too afraid to ask? Let's be brave. Let's be brave together. We're going to jump right in here. Does anyone still cringe at small things they did from years ago, no matter how many times you think of it? Oh. Some things are just kind of embarrassing. You can't really get over it. Probably nobody gives a crap. I'm just going to say. So here we go. I'm 21. Well, from my perspective, I've got a few years on that. But so this person is 21. There are at least 15 things that I've thought of 100 times each and still visibly cringe every time. Honestly, somewhere from when I was somewhere from when I was 5 or 6. Boy, if English could kick in today, my goodness gracious. Like anyone would really judge you for what you did or said when you were that young. Yeah, I agree. Edit, I want to thank everyone for their comments. Obviously, I know that everyone has cringy moments, but I was not sure how often people recall them and have a hard time getting over little things that perhaps no one else remembers. I feel better knowing how common it is, knowing that I am not alone, and I hope anyone that can relate feels the same way. Well, I sure hope that you do also. So let's take a look at the top comments here. Yeah, I get these flashes of memory and have to say something like, you dumb. I'm human, and all humans make mistakes. No kidding. Really? Wow, I didn't know I was human. I thought I was a reptilian eating that moon cheese. Yeah, but this was great. I gotta give it something. I don't know why you were too afraid to ask. I think that's actually a pretty legitimate question. Maybe talk to a professional about things like that if it's interrupting your life. But if not, yeah, pretty much everybody feels the same way. We were all dumb. We're all dumb, and we were all dumber when we were younger. So I'm gonna give this one a nice 3 out of 5. Don't be so afraid to ask smart questions like this one. Is it just me, or is YouTube getting worse and worse? Whoa. Okay, hitting a little close to home here, my friend. I don't know. YouTube is a complicated beast. Well, let's see what everybody else says. I literally look up one video on a certain topic, and the next day I am flooded with 10 plus videos of the same kind. Well, I'm so glad the algorithm is working for you, buddy. I get recommended videos from people I'm not even subscribed to. Again, I'm so happy that the algorithm works for you. But somehow manage to miss out on the YouTubers I'm actually subscribed to. Well, obviously, that's no bueno. Edit 2. Wow, I did not expect this to gain this much attention. I feel as though I'm rolling in karma. Well, you did get, a lot. Well, where's your, oh yeah, 12,000. Maybe you have a career in Reddit. But either way, let's look at the top comment here. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a reptilian from space and I can't speak English. Ah, sukabliat. There's a reason why you you have to play with the YouTube algorithm if you want optimum results. You can go in there, you can say, I'm not interested. If you say that you're not interested in a recommended video, it'll take it away and it'll take recommendations away. So that's what you have to do. I do that often, like when YouTube tries to get me to watch, like, stream movies. I'm not interested in streaming movies on YouTube. I have other services for that. But I think that the recommendation system works pretty good because I've discovered 3 new channels that I didn't know existed this month that I'm now subscribed to that I would not have known if it weren't for, like, my home page recommending things. Although, to be honest, I do also browse on mobile, which is a little bit of a different design than the desktop site. My recommendation, if you can watch on mobile or cast from your mobile device, it's a little easier because you also get easier access to all of your channels. I do kind of agree with you, person, suspect 0, that I do miss the old days because, things are very complicated now when it could just be super easy. Either way, this is not a very dumb, this is not a question you should be afraid to ask. Although I'm glad that you got an answer. I'm going to shoot from the hip. Give this one a 4 out of 5. Let's move on. If you close your eyes really hard, does your head rumble? Rumble? What does that mean? Like you got haptic feedback? I never found another person who can do this. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. You kind of get like that. Yeah, absolutely. When you you kind of tremble. Yeah. When you squint or shut your eyes tightly, the tensor tympani muscle contracts and tightens the eardrums through a tendon, which shifts the stirrups backwards from the oval window to the inner ear. This results in reduction of the magnitude of force transmitted to the inner ear and protects it from loud sounds. Oh, that's really cool, actually. So what they're saying is, it's meant to do that. If you're in a situation, like an emergency situation where you've closed your eyes really tight to try to brace yourself from damage, your ears will also kind of contract so that if it's a loud sound, you don't get deafened. That's really awesome. I can see why. Okay, now I can see why you might be too afraid to ask that. If you talk to people in person and they were like, what the heck are you on? Are you taking the plant? And you say, no, I'm just a normal person, maybe a bit dumb. And then you go online and you ask it. This is the perfect place for that. So for that, I give this a beautiful 5 out of 5. Good job. Do you ever meet someone and think, wow, if we had met at a different time, we would have made a great couple? What do you mean at a different time? Like when you're not in a relationship? Well, that's a slippery slope. I'm not talking crushes, but rather that feeling that at some point in the past you could have been really compatible. What about now? I suppose this could stem into current feelings, but I've just met some people recently where I really thought wow. That was your thought? Wow. Whoa! I know that my true friend will appear after my death, and my sweetheart died before I was born. Milady. In the vastness of space and the immensity of time, it is my joy to share planet and an epoch with Annie. Carl Sagan about his wife. Well, isn't that beautiful? He was just a beautiful man, wasn't he? What a gem. Carl Sagan, you are dearly missed. Oh, well, I don't know. This Takana Katsumi sounds like a nice guy. Our nice guy. It doesn't matter. Listen, there are people in this world, because we live in a society, and sometimes you meet people, and those people are compatible or incompatible, And, you know, not everything has to be a romantic relationship. There are such a thing as people who are just very, very deeply friends. They have a connection that goes deeper than normal friendship, and that's okay. You don't have to lie in bed together to get that. However, I hope this is not stemming OP from some kind of relationship problems that you currently have. I hope that you're very happily in a relationship, and if so, then just think of these people as really, really excellent friends. You really can't beat friends like that where you have a deep connection. I'm just saying. But either way, that's not. Yeah, I can see why you'd be too afraid to ask. I certainly wouldn't ask like my family about that. They'd probably have some uneasy questions about your life. So great. I'm gonna give this one a nice 4 out of 5. Do you ever worry that your headphones/earphones aren't connected properly and everyone around you can hear your music? Well, are people giving you the stink eye? I think that's how you can tell. Yes, and that my body makes weird noises. Yeah. Yeah, because if you have an opposite problem. If your headphones are working too well, maybe you're not hearing those discreet noises. Oh boy. I've got no idea what you're talking about. Mo Bamba? Oh no. Oh, this is great. Alright, so they answered the question pretty easily. I guess you wouldn't want to ask the person in the train or on the bus or sharing your cab with you those questions. You know what? Next time, just ask your friend, and they'll probably tell you honestly if they're good friends. But anyway, great question, great answer, 5 out of 5. Moving on. When somebody starts talking to my pet, do I roleplay as the pet or just start silently stand there? Say a random neighbor stops and chats on the sidewalk. Then they kneel down and start talking to the dog with a little baby voice. How are you, Papa? Are you enjoying your walk? Oh, whoa. Am I supposed to use my dog voice and it's really nice, oh, whoa? Or do I just stand there watching some stranger have a one-way conversation with my illiterate pet until they get bored? Yeah, just silently. Just, Bowser, you know what to do. Go ahead. You may lick her face. Yes. Mm-hmm. I need to see. LMFAO. Just say, sorry, he's still learning English. I have a German Shepherd, so I just tell them that she only speaks German. Or ask them if they speak German. In German. You'd think by now someone would call my bluff and speak German to her, but apparently there's a surprisingly few amount of Germans that baby talk to random strangers' dogs. Oh my goodness. This is the greatest post of all time. Sitz, Platz, bemann das MG44. Eichheiser. Get to the trenches. No. Oh, no. Okay. So this is great. This has obviously got to be a 5 out of 5. I don't know why you're afraid to ask this. Maybe you should just ask your neighbor? Anyway, 5 out of 5. Really gave me a tickle. Let's back out. Live stream your favorite shows with PlayStation View. No thank you. I will not. Alright, here's the number 3 all-time top post on R Too Afraid to Ask. Here we go, getting into the real meat and potatoes here. So Americans, well, I'm an American. Hey, good question. So Americans don't want universal health care because they will pay more in taxes, but will pay for health insurance? So Americans have this logic that they don't want universal health care because they don't want to pay for someone else's treatment. Except they will pay for health insurance. Like, isn't that the same thing? Not exactly. At least with socialist healthcare, they prefer to call it socialist rather than universal because obviously socialism equals bad. Everyone pays the same amount depending on what tax bracket they are in. In America, the costs vary by area, and health insurance can also choose not to pay. So there is that. The only insult people say for healthcare is the long waiting time, which isn't always true. I could list so many things wrong with the American healthcare system. Well, hey, so can I. I've been on the inside. There's a whole lot wrong. This person says, same here, which especially sucks when you're sick, but can't call off work. Oh gosh, yeah. Because even if you could afford to take the day off in the first place, you would need a doctor's note, but you can't get a doctor's note because doctors are too expensive. Yep. The cheapest doctor that I know of without insurance is still like $50. $50 American to go see a doctor one time because you have the flu? Like something that's going to go away? It's only going to be around for like 3 days at most, and you need a note. I mean, unless you are literally your own doctor, there's no good way around that if you don't have the money. So I'm with you. Wow. I had a friend who literally took an Uber to the hospital over an ambulance just to save $1,000 or $2 on his bills. Now that's sad. I agree. That is sad. Oh my gosh, like to go to the ER? That's ridiculous. Okay. So I don't like the tone, OP. I don't like the tone that you're giving off here. But to put it bluntly, healthcare is not something that has been going well in the United States of America. There's a lot of work to be done. Hopefully we'll figure it out, but as of right now, it doesn't seem like we have. Thanks for asking. Yes, we're okay. We're okay. You don't have to worry about us. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a nice 3 out of 5 just because I didn't like the condescending tone. So there. You can call me an ugly American if you want. Number 2, top all time. Can someone please explain this? I'm lost. I am Confucia, America. Keith Potato asks. Doctors before an x-ray be like, don't worry, this is perfectly safe. And then the dude goes to Egypt to press a button. Yeah. Over 20,000 upvotes. This sub is wild. Wild, I tell you. This doctor needs to be protected against radiation from an X-ray. More radiation than you need is not a good idea. Think about it like going for a burger. Every few months or less isn't going to hurt you at all, but 50 burgers in one day, 5 days a week isn't going to end well. Eli 5. I like it. Great. So for this one, I'm going to give it a... Hey, great question. You could have just probably asked your doctor. So it gets a small ding for that, but great answer. So for that, 4 out of 5. Great. Love it. Bum, 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 bum. And the number 1 all-time top post on Reddit's very own are Too Afraid to Ask. What is the smell coming from my... What? 32,000 upvotes. What is the smell coming from my roommate's room? Can you ask your roommate? Are you afraid of your roommate? Oh no. Too long did not read, because I didn't. Roommate has a vile smell coming from his room. And RA smelled it. Okay, so they're in college. And it says, someone will be over tomorrow to look in his room and see what's causing the smell. Okay. Is your friend alive? Is your roommate alive? So the question is, what the holy heck is making this repulsive smell? Edit. Alright, I'm going to try to sleep because I got stuff to do tomorrow. I'll update in the morning. Morning update! The smell is about the same strength, but I think he took a shower while I slept. I don't know what time dorm staff will be here, but I will update when they go into the room. In the meantime, I'll do my best to respond to as many people as possible. Okay, an update in the afternoon? Oh my gosh, you are dedicated. Do you even have classes? My goodness. Afternoon update. Alright, y'all. Y'all. Are you in Texas? Howdy, man. Alright, y'all. We went to the RA to expedite the process of figuring what the heck is going on, and she basically played conflict mediator. Well, good for the RA. She had us write up a roommate agreement about maintaining cleanliness in our rooms, so now we're all cleaning our individual rooms, and he has his door shut cleaning his. At the end of the conversation, the RA asked him if he would be okay with her entering his room, and he said that he was capable of finding the smell himself. So many of you have said that it is a body that I cannot help but start to believe. Wow. At 5:30 in the evening, I have enlisted the help of my roommate to help answer all the questions about the specifics of the smell, as there have been a lot of questions. If you want a more thorough description of the smell or chain of events relating to the smell, you can PM Skunkworks. 9 o'clock at night. Oh my goodness. And then just like 40 minutes later. I thought the last update would be all for the rest of the night until the smell evolved. I went to get some water from the living room, and when I walked past the room, there was a distinct sourness. What was already a really awful smell. Skunkworks can confirm that the smell is undergoing some sort of mutation. This night will be a bad one. Oh no, midnight. This keeps going. Oh, this is a saga. 1:40. Oh my gosh, this just keeps going. Skunkworks and I decided it would be cool to make a Discord so we can talk to you guys. 6 in the morning. Next day. Alright guys, this is looking like the grand finale. Skunkworks and I discovered the source of the smell. You did? So after we did some talking with people on Discord, we went to the roommate, had a fairly long conversation with him about how we needed to eradicate the smell. Not just to try to cover it up by cleaning. We told him that we didn't care what it was. We just needed him to tell us what the fudge was going on. He told us that while he was looking for the source of the smell, he put his nose inside one of his snow boots, and found that it had a slight odor. Skunkworks said that he would take one for the team and sniff the boots in order to determine if it was the same smell. But when the boots were brought into the hallway, it was immediately obvious that they were the source. No up-close sniff required. Smell my boot, boy. The smell was just like what we described in previous comments and responses, but like 100 times worse. It was eye-watering. Eye-watering! We sat him down, and after some conversation, convinced him just to straight up throw them away. He took them outside, and Skunkworks and I assumed that he threw them in the dumpster. We waited a few hours to see if the smell went away. I'm happy to report that it's about 90% gone. I don't know why this ended up being on Too Afraid to Ask. I think you were just too afraid to ask. Maybe there was a dead body in there or something. Maybe they were doing something that would be more than embarrassing. But I'm glad that you got through it. Again, like you said, that was a wild ride. And if I could give you a 6 out of 5, I definitely would. But I'm going to give you a solid gold 5 out of 5 on that one. And, as always, I'm going to have to give this one a grade. I'm going to give this subreddit a pretty solid 4 out of 5. You know, it's not a 5 out of 5. I think that we fell short just a little bit. But the questions really were pretty good. The answers were pretty good. And overall, I think you have a pretty healthy subreddit. So, are Too Afraid to Ask. Keep doing what you're doing. Awesome story at the end. Top comment. This has been Joshua, your fatherly muffin. And I hope you have a rest of your day. Until the next time, bye. Fatherly muffins are coming for you. Fatherly muffins are honest and true. They'll sing you a story and tell you a song, but they don't know much, so it will not take long.